welcome back to another episode of the EO12 podcast.
All right, so we have Cooper and Ben on the show today. We're going to have them tell us a little bit about themselves. So, Cooper, what do you want to say to the league?
All right, I joined this league when we first got in high school, I suppose. Came in pretty fiery, flaming, but, we started off strong, I'd say. Went first place, second place to none other than Tyler Eisman here, and then right after that to first place again, but I don't know why. It was kind of bad move on my part, but I left the league for a year, went downhill, but I came back, and ever since I've just been pretty injury prone, every single guy
So you've been
drafted.
subpar.
Yeah. Every year you've been hit with a tough injury.
Yeah, basically.
I will say
like
that.
Last year, drafted David Johnson number 2.
And Odell, right?
And who took the pick right ahead of you? I think that was Le'Veon, who didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay.
Did you have Odell, too?
No, I didn't.
Sanford did. Yeah, that was tough on him. He didn't notice till about week 5.
Yeah, and the year before that, I drafted Marshawn Lynch and someone else, and they both were out for like the entire year, so just completely screwed me, but
It's the curse. Once you leave, you have to pay your dues.
yeah, the Raji curse, of course.
See, I can speak on that curse, though, Eisman, because so I was original EO12 member as well. Ben 4 here joining the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
today.
you both left.
So I was an original, right? And I did, I put in my time, and I performed pretty well. Average in the league. I think I came in 7th, and then I came in, I believe, 3rd back when Sidney Rice was balling out. But to speak on leaving the league, yeah, I saw some issues in the finance department for a little bit one summer, and just really couldn't commit that to the league. And it was one of the worst choices I've made. So I've come back, and I've performed pretty well here. The boy has scored 3rd 2 years ago, 2nd last year. And I think you guys can remember patterns on the ACT. I think first place is on that next one. So we're coming for that trophy. Should have had it back home, but Todd Gurley had to go off for 40. So we're coming back strong.
Yeah, Todd Gurley did me dirty. I remember everyone's like, oh, yeah, Eisman advancing to the next round. I forget who I was supposed to play. Maybe like Jake or something. I don't know. And I'm like, dude, I'm about to lose. Every time I refresh the page, Todd Gurley had another 7 points, and he had like 41 with like 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
I remember it was like a Friday night at school with that man. I get to my phone, pick it up. He's already got like 20 at half. I'm like, this is not good.
And that's why Thomas Smith wins off that garbage.
I will say, I think if we play that game 5 times, I win 4 of the 5. But I would actually put a lot of money on that. But Gurley just had to go off for a 40 back-to-back weeks, and it was tough. I think the man has gaps in his team, and then he always gets bailed out, I will say. Dalvin Cook went down, and he got Kamara off the bench. Like, that should not happen. Speaking to Henry across the freaking podcast right now.
Well, Kamara went 10 under. Like, for the first 7, maybe 8 weeks, he didn't score over 10 points. So I'm like,
bro,
said, screw
all right.
it. Just took a lead.
And that's why we can bring up that waivers argument too. If we haven't completed that yet, I think that's discussion still open too. EO12 has some rule changes we're talking about here, so I think that's one to be discussed. So I just want to say that the entire hold on, we're gonna back that up. So I'm calling out Zach Lim here because the beginning of the year, his team I think performed pretty terribly the first 2 weeks. Or no, he actually went 13-0 or something. But this man was talking smack the whole entire year. And I told him one.
I gave him a loss. There.
Oh, you gave him one?
Yep.
That's big. That's big. No, Lim, I go, all right, solid team. Your boy stepped up. And I go, I will see you in the playoffs, and I will not be worried. There's teams in this league when I play them. I'm not worried. It's just Zach Lim is always one of those. Tyler, I will say, I will be watching my phone, and this is not just because you're hosting this podcast, but I get worried with you too, because Cooper's a Jerick McKinnon goes off for 31, could screw you type guy. But he gets those
Cooper
lucky plays.
Cooper is a Jerick McKinnon dude.
Yeah, he's a Jerick McKinnon scrappy backs that gets you some points when David Johnson goes down for the year. But it's all right. But Lim is just I think he needed to get called out. He choked, sir. So I mean, we'll see what he's got this year. I think we do need to implement a Sacco and have a punishment for last place, though. This needs to
I
happen.
below it.
Yeah, and for as long as this league's been around, for us not to have a last place like punishment, it's kind of.
I know.
I bet you Sanford checks it an extra twice a week if we throw in a bad punishment, which will make the league better. So, yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if we should do a trophy, or I think the worst would obviously just be an ACT would be up there. Sanford mentioned we do someone has to wear a crab suit to the bar when we all go out, which would be a little ridiculous, but I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about losing, so
Yeah,
I'm down
for the worst of the worst punishments because you will not see me in that bottom half of the league. So,
yeah, so whatever we want, throw it up there.
I agree because I'm
Cooper, you got
Oh
something?
yeah, of course I do. I got for one, I think one of the worst ones, we could do an adopt a highway, and that person would have to clean that section of the highway for the
That would,
period.
dude.
Of
That
time.
would like you had to wear like a fantasy football shirt. This is like I like lost it.
Yeah, like be on the side of the highway in like a Big Bird costume or something, cleaning.
No, there's definitely got to be a sign involved.
That would be so
I got
funny.
an idea. What about like a flag? Like a flag you have to hang in your window for like at least half the year or the whole year. So like, and that's like, so the trophy gets passed on, and so does this like flag that says, I mean, whatever. I'm the worst fantasy player. EO12 doesn't deserve me or something like that.
Yeah, you have to like post. You have to post this like a snap or something. You have to like post proof that you have that.
Oh yeah, no, I need monthly up. Yeah, weekly.
Once a week.
Yeah, just to make sure they didn't take it down.
I think it should be something transferable, like you could send to each other. So it shouldn't be like an event. I think it should be something kind of funny, like that ties.
It has to be something that people can see though, like
right.
So to see some people who would have been down there, I looked at the last 3 years at the players that finished in the bottom three, and I would just like to discuss some of them because there are some consistent ones.
Oh, let me guess.
So,
I'm like Mike Girdler. I didn't look completely off the top. I got Mike Girdler.
He's in there,
and then I got Sandy there.
Yep, twice.
And then who else we got there? I want to say another Girdler because these guys are just consistently not performing. But
no, there's one in there that a lot of people don't remember. This person was in the league. When I saw it,
Al Armstrong?
It was a comment. Yes, Alex Armstrong.
No way.
2015. How'd you guess that?
I remember, I know this league, sir. I remember. I was like, who's not in the league?
I saw that. I was like, who is this team name? I'm like, what the hell, Alex Armstrong? Yeah, 2 years ago it was Cooper, Sandy, Lim. So Sandy was in there the last 2 years.
See what I tell you.
Lim and dead last.
It's true colors always show, ladies and gentlemen.
And then in 2015 it was Soul back down there with Alex Armstrong and Michael Girdler.
Yeah, Michael he'll stay there. Trust me, he ain't moving much. We'll see him there consistently.
I feel that's the general consensus of everyone that comes on this show. Everyone just attacks Michael Girdler.
I mean, it's whether it's backyard basketball or it's on the fantasy court. It's the same thing. I'm not worried.
And I just want to point out, last year, Tom Smith he was 7-6 going into playoffs last year. And Jake's bragging about making playoffs last year. He didn't even have a winning record. He was 6-7.
No, it's funny because
wait, Jake had a losing record and made it.
Every single year,
6-7.
Jake will start the league like 5-0 or something crazy, or at least like one loss, and he'll talk a bunch of shit.
He goes, James the GOAT. I put on a couple MJ highlights. He goes, actually, dude, it is pretty close. You're right. That's Jake's sides in the fantasy world. But like sometimes it works for him, but a lot of times, man, yeah.
Yo, that was gonna be the random topics thing we were gonna do. I just have like a bunch of like random sports topics where I'm just gonna read them and you have to take a side on it real quick.
I like that.
All right, so the first one is we might as well start where you left off. MJ or LeBron debate.
Oof.
Start off heavy.
Ouch.
Best player ever, LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
Player. You're gonna hear this Cooper logic where he's like, "Oh, greatest of all time, MJ," but the actual best basketball player, LeBron.
Best scorer is a close, like it's right between Kevin Durant and MJ, but best player all around, James.
See, like you said, there's that Instagram account that shows best player of all time, Michael Jordan, best all around, LeBron James.
Which just
And,
doesn't make sense.
Which doesn't make sense, but also it does. No, I mean you got Jordan. I think it's a little bit more impressive to do it in a body style of Jordan rather than an NBA body that we have never seen before. Which is you can't like say that.
It might be more impressive. I could say that MJ is more impressive.
Right.
Doing that, but because LeBron's just like a freak, though. Like,
no, agreed. Like
he's
that's
just an all-around monster. Like no one's ever like him.
I don't think there will be another LeBron, and not in at least 20 years. Like that man's.
Dude, do you see him like dunking at Lil Bronny Jr.'s games like it's nothing? Like he's in like a hat and some joggers, going like behind the back, dunking it. Like he's not a real person.
The man is insane. He's a freak. I don't know how his workout videos on his Instagram are just ridiculous.
He's like
a machine.
Every 100 years, generational, if not like once every. A player like that will come around.
Like to start,
Bronny Jr. is gonna be better.
You think? No shot in hell.
Nah, he can't. He can't be. That's a problem. If Bronny Jr. was better, that'd be a problem.
See,
here's the Bryce will be better than Bronny.
How do you come up with that? Like, dude's like 13.
Yeah,
that sounds like some LeVar Ball shit. Cooper Henry. My youngest son gonna be my best. Like, no, you have no idea. There's no way of knowing.
Just taking bets.
No, here's what I had to say about LeBron, though. Speaking on his little son, right? So, I mean, you saw the little quotes he gave out. LeBron said, how many we get in Miami? Not one, not two. And he goes to Cleveland. He promises him a ring, gets him a ring. He moves to L.A., and not once is this man promising a ring out there or thinking – I think he is giving up for 4 years until his son enters the NBA. LeBron is going to – I mean, he's going to have some fun, and the boys are going to ball, and they're going to be a playoff team. But that man's not going anywhere with those Lakers. I will say that right now.
Not with the Warriors in the league.
The Warriors will take care of them with with ease, and the Rockets will smack them too. But
I would bet
dude, they're the Cavs. They're the Cavs of the West.
And how funny is it the NBA switches the Christmas game immediately to the Lakers?
Yeah.
It's not. There's no rivalry between teams. It's Warriors versus LeBron James. Immediately make it.
There's no rivalry there. Jesus Christ.
It's so funny.
Yeah, and him taking an easy 4 years for his son is...
Dude, if he plays with Bronny and there's somewhat... Like, if Bronny's somewhat good, that'd be, like, crazy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
LeBron is taking a 4-year vacation and getting paid, and I don't blame him for a single second on that. Like,
while he gets to just live in L.A. and be a celebrity.
For a basketball purpose, they're going to be so much fun to watch. But
he's still going to put up crazy numbers, too. Like
he might put up, like, the best numbers of his career there. He might put up, like, 40, 30, and 20.
Oh, because he's got – finally has some teammates, I think. I think
like, he could just, like, mess around with them, too. Like, he could be like, oh, I'll take 30 shots this game.
Right. It's like that pickup guy that, like, feeds you and just gets probably 12 assists one game and then just goes off for, like, 30 in the next game.
The old head on the court who's, like, you just, like, he'll, like, tell you to do something instead of being like, yo, why are you coaching me? Like, you're like, all right, bet. Like,
yeah, you immediately follow everything he says and just, like, knock down shots and aren't scared like Rodney Hood. And then you're fine. That's all the boys will do. I think Lonzo will ball underneath him. I don't know why they signed. I don't know why they signed Rondo though. I don't understand that 1 second.
Lonzo's trash.
Yeah, he probably won't develop.
That's a whole other debate.
Yeah, we won't get in there, but
I have a good one coming up here. But the next topic we have here is one that Smith would like to talk about on here as well. Wish he could have had him on, but Michigan will make the national championship this year.
I said playoff, but...
Oh, playoff. All right. Just change it to that. Michigan will make the the Final Four playoffs.
Ooh.
Michigan, this is probably going to be their best team they've had in
be careful.
A handful of years. Well,
be careful. How many years?
We haven't had a consistent quarterback or even like someone you can really rely on in a good 20 years. Well, not 20, 10 years. Chad Henne probably.
I was about to say.
But the defense is unreal. We got speed on all ends, and then it's all going to come down to the offensive line and running backs, really, which have all taken a step up. But the schedule is so hard that who knows?
Didn't they add another back that's supposed to be pretty solid?
No. Well, No, not for this year. They didn't.
Oh, okay. I thought they got a new back. Someone transferred, but I got a kid that goes to Ole Miss down here, and he said Shea's legit. So, or what is his name? Shea Patterson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm a Michigan fan, which I will say, graduated from MSU, go green. But I will say, when the Michigan Wolverines are playing some other team, I am rooting for them and watching that football game. So, I think it's exciting to see that man go off this year. I think he'll have a great year. Defense will do what it's done the last 3 years and be consistent. And you'll see, I mean, the defense doesn't get love because they don't win games that matter because their offense is so ass. Like,
Yeah. All we need is all Michigan needs is to put up points, and
those boys are going to have a lot of fellows drafted and from that defense. So
There's a lot of good teams there ahead of them, though.
So to the playoff picture, I don't think that's going to happen, Henry. I will ground you there. Started to float away on me there, but they're not going to the playoffs, sir. I mean, it's just not going to happen. The Spartans, if you play us twice, you'll take an L. It's just like, I think it's just not going to happen, brother.
I think it's all going to come down to Wisconsin because they're thick. And
Ohio State's still going to be good, too, in the
Yeah.
Big Ten.
They could even get demoralized if Urban's gone for a few games and they lose a few. They could just not give it everything, but still, when they're playing Michigan, I'm sure they will. But still,
And you still have Alabama in there taking a spot.
Oh yeah, and I've definitely overlooked Michigan State a little bit this offseason, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure they're gonna put up a hell of a
And they play
fight.
Notre Dame and Penn State.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's so hard.
I'm gonna be a real Michigan State fan here, be a realist, unlike a lot of people in this league about MSU. I mean, the boys are good, but we're not making it to the playoffs either. Like that, there's no shot in how that's happening.
Dude, it's so stacked in college football this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
The Big
no
Ten's
one's beat-
loaded.
agreed. Bama's coming back stronger than ever. It's just like it'll be tough,
No one's
boys.
new.
For the record, I asked that question because Cooper Henry has a bet with a league member that Michigan will make the college football playoff this year.
Yeah, it's a stretch, but gotta believe. Gotta believe. Yeah,
All right, so going off the college football there, football or basketball, could the best college football or basketball team beat the worst pro team in any given year?
No.
So you think like the first team that I would think of would be the worst Browns year playing Alabama that year where they were loaded with so much NFL talent. But I still don't think so because all those players starting are still better than all the players on that college team.
Yeah.
Besides maybe one or two.
I'm sure any one of those, well, not any one of them, but over half
Basketball
of those.
maybe.
Yeah, the Browns.
Basketball is a different breed. When you get to the NBA, they play different.
I
It's
agree.
crazy.
I agree.
Basketball and football is totally different.
Wait, side tangent. Did anyone watch Hard Knocks?
I did. I just watched the first one earlier today.
Dude, tell me that didn't make the Browns look so much worse than they actually are. They're bad. They're not a good team, but that made them look like clowns.
I mean, even I'm sure a lot of people saw Jarvis Landry sound off on the receivers group. They don't put in the effort other teams do.
Yeah. Dude, they're even the coaching staff, it was crazy. They just didn't seem like they're real football coaches.
Yeah,
those coaches look
arguing
like
with one
they're
another.
horrible. I saw 10 minutes of it, and the coaches were soft, and I couldn't see that being a football coach.
It looks like a Pop Warner middle school football team coaches.
It looks like he was hired to play a football coach. That's literally what it looks like.
Dude, he reminds me of the coach in The Water Boy where Bobby Boucher goes too. He's just crazy. That's what he reminded me of. For real.
He looked very soft and bald man. Was just chilling. I was like, yo, you got to get on your players.
I'm no wonder this team's won one. You won one game in 2 years, and this is how you're acting. He's jumping into the lake with a bunch of fans just to what? That's literally Ben. This is how they start the episode. It's the coach. What's his name?
I don't even know his name.
Hugh Jackson.
Hugh Jackson.
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson standing at the edge of the lake with a bunch of fans where he created this event because last year he said if he does worse than he did the year when they had one win, then he would jump in a lake, and they didn't win a game. So him and like all these fans jumped into the lake, like all happy, like this is like some fun event. Like this
Could
is
you
like
imagine people in Detroit celebrating their own 16 win, or even smiling and doing an event? I would have to transfer. I'd be out.
This is a garbage organization. Like it's nuts.
Top down the place. I mean, you draft Baker Mayfield, which I mean, not a bad pick, but if you're getting the number pick, first
he looked
pick
like a stud on that team. He looked like a veteran compared to these guys. Like it looked like no one cared. Like they're just messing around. Like even like Myles Garrett looked like he was like, I don't want to be here. This team's trash.
I don't think. I mean, obviously that's good. You got to get some vets, like bring in Landry, who's been in there a couple years, and try to like get on this team. But like, I think that pick was. I mean, this is another side topic, but I mean, dude, well, how do you not take a guy that's going to be an instant impact with Saquon? Like, I think if you have the number one overall pick, you got to plug in. You got to plug in someone immediately to start making a difference.
Like, yeah, but like quarterbacks, like the most important and probably the most difficult position in all of sports. Like you kind of like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I don't know if Baker's the right pick. Yeah, he is a leader, but I don't know if that's like the right like skill wise. But maybe that's what you need. Like maybe you need that leadership.
Yeah, they just need some character.
I'm not against that.
I agree, but also why not take Saquon? You have Tyrod, who's going to win you some games. Like you guys are going to do well this year. Like they're going to do okay. Like I think Tyrod's solid enough to get them at least, I bet 5 wins. Like, you don't need everyone's trying to get that star quarterback this draft. Like, why not get that star running back, and then next year you snag someone that you think could be, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but nowadays, like, running backs, they only last.
Saquon's going to be here for a minute.
They're high 20s, and, like, they don't stick around as long nowadays. Like, the best running backs in the entire league, like, Le'Veon, David Johnson, Todd Gurley, all those guys are like 24, maybe 25. Like nobody's over 26. Like they're all.
I think Le'Veon's getting up there.
Le'Veon's been out at least 5-6 years. I'd say 6.
He's 26. I mean that's still young.
6 years or 4 years, I guess. 22. I don't know if he was a senior at State or not, but I mean, I don't know. I think Saquon was.
Saquon's a stud. Yeah, I think he's like instantly a top 5 running back in the league.
Yeah, he's just an absolute tank.
And like his top 3 receiver. Like he's like crazy.
Yeah, and his footwork is insane. He can still light people up. I think he's a freak, and I think like why not take him, find that QB,
Last question, going to a sport that we don't usually talk about. Will the U.S. men's soccer team win a World Cup in the next 40 years?
So what? That's
10 World Cups.
Yeah, I mean, the boys...
No.
No way.
I'm trying to think
Just
of anything.
Blunt, no.
No. That's 10 World Cups, but I'm trying to think if the boys have anything solid right now. No. They don't have any players right now. They're in a complete... I mean, they got young guys, and they can't even beat... Trinidad and Tobago to get in?
Yeah. That's what they had to win to get in.
I will call out the USA in a little bit here. Ronaldo, Messi. You think about like how big these stars are, and like our biggest star is LeBron James, and he has 40 million followers. These dudes, Ronaldo and Messi, have 123, 133 million, and they're getting paid the most out of any athlete in the world. Like soccer is big as hell. Like I know America doesn't sell it as much, but like, dude, I don't know. It's wild to think that Americans don't get behind soccer just because we're not the best at it.
But those, well, yeah, that's a huge part of it. But those players are like across countries when LeBron's like in America and then no one else is really seeing him. I've heard, I forget who it was. I know a soccer player said this, or like a soccer coach or something. Said if they had Odell Beckham train for soccer for 1 year, he could be a top 3 player in the MLS.
Or even like Chad Ochocinco, he could have been like a hell of a player in the league.
Steve Nash was dirty too. But like,
dude,
those great athletes, they just go to football and basketball, and even baseball. Some of the players in baseball are huge.
I will check you a little bit on the soccer stat. I'm sure Odell, just with his speed or whoever those guys are, and like their ability to go up and get headers and stuff, I'm sure like they could be taught that. But like the footwork and the touch and all that, I mean, I guess
and that's MLS, what they're saying. Like MLS,
MLS is trash. So I think maybe he could be
not top 3 player in the world. I'm saying like a really good player in the U.S.
No,
'cause
right.
they'd be U.S. players.
I just don't see any good team. I thought you meant like Champions League or something out there. I'm like, he'll never start out there or even play. No shot.
But I mean,
I'm just saying, like, Odell already has soccer skills. So he's saying, like, if they instead of no football, just a year, like training all day every day for soccer, he could be a top 3 player in the MLS.
And even so, like in Europe, all they learn is Ibra in the USA, the god. But
the god.
In Europe, all they do is play soccer, like from day one. Like maybe some basketball and baseball here and there, but like soccer is their lifeblood in like every other country other than America.
Until I see a change in the shift on focus on soccer, no. Which in America, it's only women's soccer right now. But just 2 quick points on my takes on Detroit sports real quick. And then
also,
why are the Pistons signing Jose Calderon out here when Isaiah Thomas is available for $2 million? For $2 million, you're not signing IT. I think that's absurd. I want to talk to every single person on the. I don't think IT will be even half of what he used to be, but even if you give me like the Kings IT, like I'll take Isaiah Thomas on the Kings. Stroke in from 3. Like Pistons need a scorer, and like with 2 big bodies, Andre Drummond and Blake, I think he could fit well off a pick and roll, get some spacing. Like for $2 million, I was real upset. So I needed to have a talk with someone.
The Pistons are messed up. Dude, the Pistons are in a bad place. They just have nothing going for them.
It's hard to be a Detroit fan other than a Detroit Lions fan right now. Like, I'll be honest, I've probably watched 3 innings of the Tigers this year.
You guys are, like, clutching to it. Like, you just, like, you have, like, the Lions have been all right, but you're just like, oh, they have to be good or else.
We're holding on. Dude, we're slipping. Detroit's slipping, I will say.
Detroit versus everybody.
No, for real. That's what Philly was like all through high school, like 2010 through, like, 2014. Philly sports were garbage, like, never good. And now all of them just are starting to get good at once. It's crazy.
But yeah, so IT, I mean, I'm upset with that. I think $2 million for that man is a steal, and just why not try it out when you're trying out Jose Calderon, who's got more freaking net worth than half your team, pretty much. But
yeah, I don't know how the Pistons do that.
It's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. But
all right, well, that's probably about all the time that we're gonna spend here today. This was a quick little impromptu podcast we had here. Thank you, Ben and Cooper, for being on. Hopefully in the next show we'll get some more new people on here too, discuss some new topics. Follow us on Twitter at Oakland12FFL, and check out some more info coming from the league. We got a draft coming up in a few weeks here. So yeah, thank you for tuning in.